This is the first in a series of short videos to introduce you to MealsOnDisk. MealsOnDisk is a software application written specifically for Meals on Wheels services. It's designed to keep track of clients, their meal preferences, their delivery details, and as well keep track of the charges for those meals and the payments made by the clients. It also has a variety of reports available, and it produces the MDS file to be sent to Hack each quarter. So it helps with the administration there as well. MealsOnDisk runs on any version of the Windows operating system from Windows 98 and later. So that's Windows 98, Windows ME, also known as Millennium Edition, Windows NT4 and later, Windows 2000, and Windows XP. Some people ask me if there's a preferred operating system. My preference would be Windows XP, mainly because of the better usability and reliability that it offers. And this demonstration I'll be doing today is on Windows XP. The installation process itself is relatively straightforward. It would take between 5 and 10 minutes depending on the age and speed of your computer. And the first thing you would do is take the evaluation CD, put it in the CD drawer and close the drawer. And in most cases what will happen now is the installation process will start automatically. If it doesn't, what you would do is go to Windows Explorer, find the CD drive, and find the file setup.exe, which is the setup program, and you'd run that. This is just happened automatically here, and you can see the setup is saying you're about to install MealsOnDisk. You must have Microsoft Internet Explorer 5.01 or later installed prior to installing MealsOnDisk. The reason for this is some of the things that are going to get installed next need to have Internet Explorer 5.01 or later to allow them to work. Now that's not because MealsOnDisk is accessing the internet or anything like that. What Microsoft have done recently is Internet Explorer is essentially an extension to Windows, so a lot of the technology that's built into Internet Explorer is also needed for other applications as well. So that's what's happening here. The only people who are going to get affected by this really is if you're on a really old version of Windows 98. The later versions of 98 aren't affected. But if you have concerns of what version of Internet Explorer you're running, best thing to do is to check. Click on the Start button down here, Internet Explorer, or however you normally start up Internet Explorer. Now you don't need to be online to do this. In fact, offline is just fine. As I am here, there's no page to be displayed because I'm offline. Click on Help on the menu bar, About Internet Explorer, and it's got the version number in here. In this case 6.0 because I'm running XP, and that's automatically installed with XP. So we're fine, so we can proceed. If you didn't have a later version of Explorer installed, it's actually supplied on the MealsOnDisk CD, so just go to the IE6 folder and run it from there. But we're fine, as I said, so you can just click OK, and it starts the first step in the installation process, which you can see says installing Microsoft.NET Framework. Now this is one of these components that needed to have Internet Explorer already installed. What the .NET framework is a new initiative by Microsoft to essentially make it easier for developers to develop applications, and on top of that it's got a number of new features to try and combat some of the security issues on the internet. Now this is probably the slowest part of the installation, and it's made a bit slower because I'm recording the video at the same time, so we may just come back when it's finished. Okay, so it's moved on to the next step of the installation, which is installing the database engine. MealsOnDisk keeps all its data in a database. This database is based on the Microsoft product SQL Server, which is their premier database product. It's an enterprise-grade database used by some of the largest organizations in the world for some of the largest databases in the world. The database we use for MealsOnDisk is essentially a version of SQL Server that's available for distribution at no cost, but it's restricted in its storage capacity. It's still more than adequate for MealsOnDisk though, and you also get the advantages of a reliable database product like SQL Server. This part of the installation is going to take a little bit longer, and then we end up moving on to the MealsOnDisk part proper. And it's starting up here now. Just a few more seconds. Okay, so this is the MealsOnDisk setup wizard. Some introductory information here. Click Next. This is the license agreement for MealsOnDisk. Feel free to have a read through this, but this covers both the licensed version and the evaluation version. The evaluation version works for 60 days. There are some restrictions in that the reports have a grey sort of watermark on the background of them, and after the 60-day period the reports will no longer be available. However, all the data will still remain in the database. You can still update it even. You just can't produce any reports. That's the restriction. If you choose to purchase MealsOnDisk, you will receive a registration key that will unlock the software, and all those features will then become available again. Okay, so to proceed I need to say I agree to this license agreement. Assume I've read it and click Next. This next form asks for the folder where MealsOnDisk will be installed. Unless you have a desperate need to change this, I'll just leave it. And here it asks you whether the software will be used just by yourself or by anyone who uses this computer. This is only relevant in the case of probably Windows 2000 or Windows XP, where you have multi-user logins. The easiest thing to do here would just be to click everyone and click Next. Okay, so click Next one more time and we'll be installing. Now this part of the installation is actually quite fast, so it's probably going to be 15 seconds to go, and then we'll be done. Over here that it just created this icon for MealsOnDisk, a shortcut to start it up, and it's finished, so we just say close. And that's the installation process. As I said, the icon is over here to start MealsOnDisk. The other way to start it would be from the menu, Start, Programs, and there's MealsOnDisk is here, and you can run it from there. I won't do that now. That will be the subject of the next video, starting up and configuring MealsOnDisk.